Hi everyone, I'm Jodi and welcome to number 4 video in the My Top Favorites Beauty Products series. Today's video is all about the cheeks. Today we're going to cover blush, both powder and cream, and then we're going to cover highlighter, also both in sort of a powdery formula as well as cream. Now I've talked about before on my channel that I tend to lean towards a cream blush. It just tends to be more of my favorite as I age. I think it's a little bit more forgiving on skin that tends to show the signs of aging. So a little bit more texture perhaps, a little bit more pores show, and then of course there's those, that W word, wrinkles. But that's what comes along with aging, and I'd rather be aging and alive than the alternative. I'm gonna be grateful and embrace it, but I do stick with cream blushes. We have you covered my top 5 favorites in each of these categories, and I'm gonna list them in terms of price point from the least expensive to the most expensive. Now, it doesn't necessarily also mean from one level of quality to another level of quality. Sometimes the better blush or product is in a lower price point. These are my favorites, so if they've made this list, then they are in my routine, whether they're in my travel bag or they're in my, changing out depending on what I'm wearing, if I'm warm tones or cool tones, if I want a matte finish or a satin finish. So these are in the rotation, if you will, of the products that I use. Let's go ahead and get started. And before I do, I'm gonna link right up here the other videos in this series in case you're interested in my top 5 for all about the eyes, all eye products, from mascara to eyebrow pencil to eyeliner, you name it. Also, we've covered the lips, so from lip scrub to lip gloss to lip plumper to lip liner, and then we've also covered all about the face, which is your foundations, your primers, your setting spray, your bronzers, and so on. And then today is the cheek. Without further ado, let's get started with my number 1, which is the Milani in Luminoso. It is a baked powder blush, and what I love about this one is how creamy and smooth it goes on, even though it is a powder. Now this one retails for $6.69, and the color is number 5. So you can see it's a really pretty peachy pink, and I'm noticing of all the ones I have, there's not going to be a huge variety in color payout, so I apologize for that. But we do have some nice pinks and some nice blushes. Again, this Milani retails for just under $7. It's a really nice creamy formula as far as powders go. It doesn't go on cakey or sporadic or break up in the color. It does apply very smooth, and I always apply my blush over a foundation, obviously, and then my sunscreen's underneath that. So it doesn't get blotchy at all throughout the day. I would then set this with the setting spray and be good to go. The next one is a CoverGirl True Blend, and this is in the color Love Me. And this is just under $7, also at like $6.95 or $6.85 depending. It's also a pinky peach, but a little bit more on the pink side than the Milani. That Milani one's a little bit more on the peachy side versus the pink. Now both of these are pretty light for darker skin tones, so you'd have to layer those probably, or if you layered them on top of a bronzer, that would really pull out some of those tones in there that you're looking for, those pinks and peaches. This one goes on well. I haven't worn it a ton, but I just recently discovered it probably, I don't know, 5 months ago. It's very creamy. It doesn't feel powdery at all, so it really stays in place and sets nice with a nice setting spray. The next one is Physicians Formula. Now, the thing I have to say about Physicians Formula is, for the price point of $12, you also get a mirror in the case. And I love that because I like having a mirror so that if I need something, I need to throw it in my purse, I'm gonna go grab something that has a mirror on it. It also comes with a very foamy, application pad. I have used this once to see how it would work. One is more of a silicone, which is the green side, and then the pink side is more of a spongy material, I would say. And it's nice. I don't work well with the silicone material for my application of creams or powders. It's a nice thought, but I do really like the fact that it has a mirror in it. Now this one that I have is called Beach Peach, and man, I love this color because, first of all, I love the color because it's a nice blend between a nude peach and a nude pink, and it's just a nice blush. If they would make I'd really like, if I could request, I'd really like a nail polish in this color. If one exists and somebody knows about it, please tell me, because I think that would be super pretty in the summertime. So again, this is almost a combination, a nice mix between a peach and a pink. Now, you know, you can see that here's the CoverGirl, which is much more pink, and then the Milani, which is much more peach. And then that Physicians Formula really does sort of fall right in between those three. So if you're leaning more towards, you know, not a peach or a pink, then this might be a really nice alternative for you. Bumping up in price point, next we're gonna go to NARS. Now, NARS I don't really love the name of NARS's blushes, but this is not the famous one that starts with an O. This is just as bad though. This is called Deep Throat, and I'm sorry for that. But this is a NARS powder. It's $30. Now NARS powders, you know, their blushes are very well known. This one is also a nice peachy, it's a much lighter blush, which is what I really like to wear more if I've got some really glam eyes going on, some more glittery golds in my eyes. Then I'll go with more of a neutral pink on my cheeks. This is more of a matte finish. Again, a nice smooth color payoff, really nice if that's even gonna show up. It might be too light for, it's a really light color, but I love it because it just gives that little bit of color, and you could even put this on top of a bronzer and it would be really pretty. Now, my next one, this was $30. My next one is $32, and NARS does have mirrors in their compacts as well, which at that price point you would expect them to. My next one, my number 5, is $32, so $2 more, almost the same amount is in each one of them. This is actually 0.4 grams and this is 0.2. These are both made by, this is Laura Mercier and this is NARS. They're both Shiseido companies. These are both made in Italy. Really nice colors. The one from Laura Mercier is called Chai, and it is just, I'm gonna put it right up here next to this Milani. What I love about it is its creaminess. It's almost a cream blush. So if you prefer to work with a powdered blush, but you want sort of the benefit of a cream blush look, this is a nice one. It's a sheen finish where that NARS is a little bit more of a matte finish. And it's just a nice peachy pink color. So if you are in the market for a splurge blush, then maybe this is one that you're gonna look for. This is compared to the NARS. This is a go-to. I do use this one a lot. And then sometimes I will put that CoverGirl underneath it and just go with the CoverGirl first, and then just put this a little bit on the top for a little bit of maybe an ombre type effect. So those are the powder blushes that are in my arsenal. The next one we're gonna go to is the cream blushes. Now, again, you guys have heard me say this before. I love cream blushes for more mature skin. I put them on with a damp beauty sponge. These are e.l.f. They're small enough. I love the smaller ones just because it really does allow you to get into your cheek area without having so much blush that you've lost the beauty of your skin or your foundation look, because by the time you have highlighter and then blush and then bronzer and or contour, you've just not left a lot, so you've shortened the size of your face. So I like to just have a little bit of color just to sort of say that there's color there, which is why these small ones work so well. The first one that I reach for is the Milani, and this is called Nude Flush, and this is their Cheek Kiss. It's a liquid, like I said, it's a very nice color. It's more on the bronzy colors than some of the cream, other cream ones that I have, but it's a really nice bronzy. This would look nice on some of my darker skin tone friends. Beverly in Atlanta, this would look beautiful on you. You just sort of have to let it dry a little bit and then set it with a setting spray. I set these with a setting spray first and then with a setting powder. And this one is $10, and again, this is called Nude Flush. The next one is the DM. I just recently picked this up in my Sephora haul, if you saw that video, and this is from DM Color Fix Creams. And what I love about this one is it is it's only $18. Now, it's a small tube for $18, but it has a really pretty glow inside of it. So if you're not a multi-step makeup application person, then this might be perfect for you because it has a really pretty highlighter in it. So it's got a little bit of a sparkle, not a glittery at all, but a really nice highlighted sparkle. You could also just touch a little bit of this to the corner of the inside of your eyes once you've done your cheeks, so that you've sort of pulled those together, but not so obvious that it's the same amount. Just a little tiny dab right in. Well, let's just do it. Do I have a small enough? Yeah, let's just do it with this. Just a little tiny dab on the inside of your eye to give it a little bit of color is one of the things I love about this one blush. So that one, like I said, is $18. So really nice job with this one. And then the next one we're gonna jump to Iconic. This was another one I picked up in that Sephora haul. I was really excited about both of these products. This is the Fresh Faced. This is $25 and this is Fresh Faced by Iconic. So I love this one because it's similar to that Milani that I mentioned earlier. It's a nice creamy, but it's not as brown as the Milani. I'll put that Milani back up there so you can see it. It's not quite as brown as the Milani. The Milani is more of a matte, where this Iconic is a little bit more of a satin sheen payoff than not. Where, you know, I'm trying to stay away from too much glitter, but too much matte on older skin can look just dry. So I do try to find something in between. So those are the two differences there. Really pretty for $25. The fourth one is an Ilia product. This is made in the US, but the company's out of Canada. Really love these products. They're clean products. They're all natural, very good color payout, very long wearing. The color stays a really long time. You can see it's a really pretty color, and I use it on my cheeks as well as my lips. It's a multi-use stick. So I do love it for that. It's a little bit, not thick's the wrong word, it's a little bit hard, I think. So you almost have to warm it up a little bit. I rub my finger on it a little bit just to get it warm, and then it will apply. I'll put it on my finger and then I'll dab it on my cheeks. I would never do this because I think it's too tough and I'm afraid it would pull all of those layers that I've just put on with my foundation and my concealer and, you know, cream, any other cream products I've used. So I do really love it. I love it because it lasts a lot longer, but it is a little harder to put on, if that makes sense. You kind of have the payout for it. It depends on how much time you want to spend, but it is a multi-use product, which I love. And that sells for $34. And then the last one is definitely a splurge, as is the next section, which is highlighters. This is the Clé de Peau. So I have this one on today with the Milani Cheek Kiss. So I put the Milani Cheek Kiss on first, and then I covered over it with this Clé de Peau. This is $60. Yes, I know it's a big gasp and it is a big splurge. It's $60. It is a beautiful color. It's not a lot of product. It's very creamy and goes on and glides so smoothly over your foundation. And it's just a nice mauvey, satiny finish, but not really super shiny, but it gives a nice glow, sort of that radiant glow. And I love that about it. So really pretty on the Clé de Peau. This is my favorite in terms of high end. If I'm gonna do something fancy or gonna go out somewhere fancy. These higher end products do last a long time, at least for me, because I treat it sort of like that fine china. I only use it if I'm gonna have a special occasion, which is probably dumb, because if you're gonna buy it, you should use it. But I try to make it last, and I don't wanna run out because it's so beautiful, and I don't know that I would ever buy it again. But yeah, I probably would. If it's a cream blush or a highlighter, I've found out that's where I spend more of my money if I'm gonna do something high-end splurge. So let's move over to highlighters, because highlighters are highlighters, and no matter how much we try to get away from them, they really do add this inner glow sheen to the face if put on correctly and the right type, and it's not that bright strobing, you know, that it was 2 years ago. That just looked not so good on me personally, and as I get older, I just don't want a bunch of light hitting me right underneath my cheeks because that's too close to where the wrinkles are. So I try to avoid that. The first one, and I've talked about this one before, is the Revolution Reloaded. This is $7. I really love this highlighter because it's just a nice highlight without a bunch of sparkle and glitter. And it's just a nice, not only is it highlight on your cheeks, but it's also a really nice highlight on just underneath your brow and then just above the brow, so that you kind of have a little bit of highlight there. That's what I really love about this one. It's just a nice, blendable, non-sparkly highlighter. So this is definitely a favorite and one you should think about if you're looking for a highlighter. You just wanna make sure that you apply it very lightly. And usually what I'll use this Real Techniques brush, just a nice thin fan brush where the bristles are very airy and spread out so that you don't get a bunch of color. And I just really lightly tap it on, get anything extra, and then I just go right above where my cheekbone is, or where I want the highlight, a little bit on my nose, a little bit through the top of my lip, and right above there. So there's my secrets for highlighter. The next one is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting. Now this is the iridescent strobe light in Ambient. Now that's why this is in the silver packaging. You know, some of them have that more brown, bronzy packaging. That's not this one. This is the iridescent strobe light. Now the reason I like this one better is because I just feel like it gives a little bit more of that inner glow, or that glow from within. Let's put it just over some of these powders, these blushes, because that's how we would wear it anyway. And it's just a nice inner glow. It doesn't feel as glittery goldy to me as the regular Ambient does. And this one sells for $48. It also has a mirror inside of it. Really nice, small, compact, and I just, Hourglass really is a go-to when it comes to doing highlighters well. The next one is Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown's been doing highlighters really nicely for a long time. This is Bobbi Brown Pink Glow. It also comes with a mirror case. And this comes in a very checkered pattern. Mine's been used so much that that checkered pattern is gone. But the Pink Glow is just really a nice mixture of highlight and creaminess and glow without frost, shine, or shimmer. This is a more warm tone, so if I'm gonna go with more of a browny, bronzy colors, then that's where I'll use this one, where some of the other ones are more of a golden, pinky peach. This is more on the golden bronzed color. Or spectrum, if you're looking for that type of a highlighter. And that sells for $50. It's a satin finish, so if you're looking for more matte, this isn't it, but it's a nice, beautiful satin finish. Next, we're moving up to $58, and this is Chanel. Chanel's highlighters are always so beautiful. This was a limited edition. It's still available. It's $58 in the metal peach. This is $50. It's a really beautiful, creamy, but in a powder formula highlighter. I'm running out of room on my hands and my arms. So, you know, let's just put it on top of, I'm gonna put it on top of some of these other ones that we've done creams with, and just see if you can sort of see how pretty that is. It's just a nice creamy glow from within highlight. It's more of a warm pinky peach color, but it could be worn on a lot of skin tones. I think that you could wear this with very light skin tone, and you could wear this with very dark skin tone, and it would be a really beautiful, natural, glowy look to your skin. Now, the really big splurge in the powdered highlighter, and again, highlighter is definitely my favorite, and this is a splurge ×2, is the Chantecaille, and this is in Pearl Glow. It's $110. However, it is, this year it is round. It has pearls on the top, which you can't do anything with them, but they're beautiful to look at. It's round this year, and the reason I have the square one is because, quite frankly, it's sort of, I just don't use it that often unless it is a very special occasion, which I'm trying to get better at. If I bought it, I should use it more often, but I just don't want to ever hit pan on it because it's so expensive. But it is so pretty, and it's just such a nice, creamy, hopefully you can probably see that on camera. It is just such a beautiful, creamy, glowy, non-powdery feeling. The texture of this is, I think, why I love it so much. And again, it's because it's a very creamy formula that goes on like a cream highlighter, and it makes any blush that you put this on look very radiant and sort of an ambient lighting with, there's no glitter to it at all, but yet it has a luminosity to it. I love, love, love this. Again, this year it is round, so if you are looking for this, it's available at Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, and then obviously the Chantecaille website. So I'll link it down below if you feel like a splurge, and then use it. I just hardly ever use it. Now we're gonna move over to cream highlighters, which is also a fan favorite for me, just because I like the cream blush, and then a nice cream highlighter on top of it, set with a setting spray, and then a really light dusting of a translucent powder is how I will set my cheeks for the duration of the day. My number one is this e.l.f. brightening and concealing pen. Now, the reason I love this, and it's $5, that's one of the reasons I love it, is because it is a concealer and a highlighter in one. I highlighted this in my eyes video because I do use it as a concealer, and then you will use it as a brightening if I want to sort of brighten up in those areas. But as a concealer, this pen works really well, but it's also a nice highlighter. So if you wanted to highlight just on your cheek area, then you could use it for that as well, and then conceal. I also find that I use it if I have had a little bit more purpley on the inside of my eyes. I will use it for this because it does give that brightening effect while it also acts as a concealer and covers up some of that purpley that's underneath my eyes. It is a double win in terms of price point and wearability. The next one is the Dior Flash Luminizer. Now this is $40. It works just like the e.l.f. pen. You know, there's a pen applicator, you push it at the bottom, it comes out, and it's almost the same thing. Now this, however, does not have quite the concealing effect, and it doesn't claim to be a concealer. It's definitely more of a highlighter, really pretty illuminating. What I like about this is how controlled I can get with the size and this brush. So I can put it in very small areas if I wanted to highlight like just above my eyebrow, for example, or if I wanted to go to the inner corner of my eyes, or if I just wanted to dab up through my cheeks, then this is a really good, useful application that's very precise and gives just that nice little sort of glow highlight from within, which is why I reach for it. And then last but not least, in the cream highlighter category for $45. Now this comes in 5 different colors. I've just got makeup all over, so let's just take some of this off before I end up with it everywhere, which it already is. This is the Chanel multi-use stick. Now this is in the color Sculpting, and again, this is $45. It's very, very creamy, and the thing I love about these higher end highlighters, you guys, is that it highlights without looking sparkly, glittery, shimmery. It's just a nice, natural, glow, dewy look to the skin, and that's really why I like this one so much in this Sculpting color. It's just a dewy finish to the skin. Hopefully you're gonna be able to see that on camera because it really shows up nicely. Now I do have a lot of lighting, so sometimes some of this doesn't show up as much as I would like because of all that lighting. But it's just a very beautiful dewy color. I try not to apply it right to my face. I don't think it moves the product around, but I feel like I have better control of where I'm gonna place the product if I do it this way first. So this one, as I said, is $45. I love this, and I will set this one on again over all my other creams real quick with the setting spray, sort of a nice fine dewy mist, and I love the e.l.f. setting spray. And then I will just put a little sprinkle of a translucent powder just to give it a nice set, and it lasts without creasing throughout the day. There you go. That is my top 5 all cheeks in this My Top 5 Favorites series. The series has been so fun to do. If you're interested in me doing more of these series of my top 5 favorites, we've covered makeup all over the face, from eyes to cheeks to face to lips. So if you'd like to see one on hair, like shampoos, conditioners, or skincare, body lotion, things like that, I'm happy to do it. Just let me know in the comment section below, and give me a thumbs up if this is a video or content that you enjoyed seeing, and I will certainly make more of them. And then certainly I'd love for you to be a subscriber if you're not already. Thanks everybody for watching this series. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed pulling all this stuff together and sharing it with you. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.